Okay, grabbing whatever you need to grab. So grabbing, if you need a pillow to sit on or a couple of pillows, grabbing your blocks, your strap, finding those things, maybe your eye pillow for when we get to final relaxation, and bringing ourselves down to our mat. And we've got our nice whole simple cross-legged pose. Yeah, sitting ourselves up. And maybe you are just beginning to bring yourself into the present moment. Maybe you're just sitting down. So you can actually have some movement going on just to begin to ground yourself into the floor. Or maybe you were sitting for a long time and you're like, I've been in stillness. So you can stay in stillness. Otherwise, maybe moving ourselves from side to side or front to back, that can be helpful. Especially if your nervous system or your brain is all scattered all over the place. This can be helpful movement. It's the rocking side to side, the rocking front to back. It's primal self-soothing. It is a brain mechanism that slows everything down, that soothes, that quiets that nervous system. I think that's probably why I do this maybe unintentionally a lot. Just like this can be a very soothing thing as well. So, you know, you think of like the evil people in the ha 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 going like this, but they're not evil. They're just soothing themselves. I always think of that when I learned that this is a soothing motion. It's a self-soothing motion. Like, oh, all the villains, they're not really evil. They're just self-soothing. All right, sitting ourselves up tall, lengthening through our spine. And if you are moving, let's change this movement into a nice torso circle. If that is available to you, remembering that this is your practice, do what your body can do. Some of these things may not be available to you today. Maybe they were yesterday, maybe they will be next week, but maybe today there's something going on to where your body's like, nope, I'm going to just do what I can do. And that's what this is, doing what you can do, practicing how you can practice. And we are still using that breath, strengthening that body, stretching through that body. All right, let's change this torso circling and let's circle this the other direction. So circling, ooh, that feels good. Circling the other way. And as we are beginning to do this movement, we are also beginning to come into some body self-awareness, some proprioception, which is the outside of our body, and some interoception, which is inside of our body. So we are recognizing what's going on the outside and on the insides of our bodies during our practice today. And what's super helpful with that is the rhythm of our breathing. Because we use that breath, that gives us the pause, the power of the pause, the power of the ability to, that breath, oh, it just took us to a place where we could stop for a second and think. Yeah, power of the pause. All right, let's bring ourselves back to center, sit ourselves up tall. You just sit at the front of my pillow. And if you have super tight hip flexors or a tight lower back, you might want to be stacked up on a couple of pillows so that you are tilted forward, because that can be very helpful for your hips. Yeah, because if you're finding that you're like this can be super uncomfortable and super hard on your back. So use whatever you need to use to help you in your practice, because this will help open things up for you. Let's do a big sun breath here. Let's inhale and sweep this up. And let's exhale this out. Good. Inhale and sweep this up. And exhale it out. Yeah. So priming those lungs, priming that esophagus, getting the air down into those lungs, down through that throat. Inhale and sweep this up. And exhale this out. It's also waking up that brain, those neural pathways, and being like, oh yeah, today we're doing this again. We're doing this today. So let's take one foot out in front of take one foot out in front, and we'll give ourselves a nice little foot massage. So we'll start at our toes, work towards the ball of our foot, arch of our foot back towards the heel. So again, and this is a wonderful, perfect time to begin to tap into that body awareness, even if you have none, even if you woke up today and were like, I feel nothing, I have no connection to my body whatsoever. That's okay. Right now, you are forcefully connecting because I'm asking you to massage your feet. So you're at least having a little bit of connection. So maybe you recognize that. You might be having a whole battle in yourself of like, well, I don't want to. And that's okay. This is just part of the process, part of the connection, part of recognizing that you are important, that you are valuable, and that this self-care that you are doing right now is super valuable. Oh my heels. Goodness, what is going on with that? So you might have something like that going on where you're like, what? What is that weird feeling? You don't need to figure it out, but just curiosity and going with the flow, going with the wave, moving with it, not trying to move against it, just going with it, being like, huh, okay, that's good to know. I think it's because I have some heel stuff, some plantar fasciitis stuff that is healing. And so it's that good tender where you're like, oh yeah, it's like the healing tender. All right, working back up towards the shin and ankle. Yeah. So good. Even if it doesn't feel good on the muscles, it is so good that you've got your fingers touching and figuring out what's going on with the rest of your body. So that is very good. Good. All right, let's go ahead and switch that. Switch it to the other foot and starting at those toes. Same thing on this side. And recognizing, hey, do I feel the same on this side or is something different? Ooh, a little bit different right there. Arch of the foot. Did not feel that. I think actually too, when you look at reflexology and you look at the little maps of the feet, I think that there is one foot like it goes to the pancreas, or I don't know, just stuff like that. So where you may be like, whoa, I didn't feel this on the other foot. It may be something like that going on as well. That like almost makes me want to go to sleep right there. Wouldn't that be cool? If you could be like, okay, it's time to go to sleep. Boop. I'm done. Okay. And then stay asleep, like, yeah. So that would be nice. But again, body awareness, recognizing. But then I guess that wouldn't be cool, because what if you were just walking and you got like, you stepped on a rock and it hit that pressure point and you're like, okay. Back towards the heel. Yeah, I feel it in this heel too. So feeling that on both of those heels, the inflammation is going down in the whatever has been going on in my heels, my Achilles tendons. That is nice. I was feeling it last week too, but it feels a lot better this week. So yeah, recognizing that, and maybe you can even compare it to last week, to our last practice, oh wow, yeah, that does feel different. So again, just recognizing at that shin and calf. Good, and now we're back into that cross leg, and maybe you've got your awkward leg in front, so the other leg is in front. And if you don't, go ahead and do that to where we have the odd leg that we would normally put in front. Go ahead and put that in front. Inhale and sweep this up. As we exhale, let's go ahead and drop down to the right. Let's lengthen over. Our left arm is reaching. Look up towards the hand and then look down towards the other hand. So look up towards that hand, towards the left hand, and look down towards the right hand. Look up at the left hand and down towards the right hand. Inhale and sweep the center, and exhale this down and over to the left. We're reaching our right arm over, but we're over to that left side. And same thing, let's look up at the right hand and look down at the left hand. And up at the right, and down at the left. And up at the right, and down at the left. So good. Let's inhale and sweep this up center. Clasp our hands at the top. Press our palms towards the ceiling. You can exhale as we are kind of lifted here. And let's lengthen up through our torso, lengthen up through our rib cage. Big deep breath. Inhale it deeply. And big exhale out. Good. Inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. And again, big deep inhale. And exhale it out. Good. Bring our arms out in front. Stop hands, rotate our wrists. Let's rotate the other way. Give ourselves a big hug. So right arm over our left, reach our fingers back towards our spine. Ooh, ooh. And maybe rock a little bit here. That feels good. Nice. All right, open that up and other side, left over right. Good. Give yourself that nice big hug, reaching our fingers back for our spine. Oh, goodness. Open this up, and this time we're going to keep our arms open. We can barely see them out of our side eyes, out of our peripheral vision. Let's take our palms facing up. Make some fists, roll our knuckles in. Oh, forearm stretch. Exaggerated bicep curl. Maybe those thumbs can get to touch those shoulders. Sit ourselves up tall. And then let's go ahead and round this. And then let's inhale and up tall. And exhale, round. Inhale it up tall. And exhale, round that. Inhale up tall. And exhale, round. We'll bring this back to center, back to a neutral spine. Open this up, palms facing down. And we're going to do that our little like flight or bird wings or it's in Pilates. These are the 100 arms where you're just doing those little pulses. This is getting some blood flow to our shoulder joints, to our shoulder muscles, to our arm muscles underneath our lats. So we're getting our latissimus dorsi. Those are our big back muscles. Shoulders maybe like up in the neck, your traps. Good. Bring this in the front. Oh yeah, there we go. And release that down. Good. Roll those shoulders back and roll those shoulders forward. Big sun breath up. This time, let's take our arms behind us. So we've stretched through the front. Now let's stretch through the back. Open this up, lengthen through that. If your shoulders and chest are super tight, that's what your strap is for, or your washcloth or your towel, whatever you need to use, you can use it for length here. So you can hold on to that towel or that strap if you can't clasp your hands, which is very normal. A lot of times people don't have a lot of mobility in their shoulders or in their chest just because of our way of life. We live like this. We live like this on the computer, driving the car. We live like this with everything going closed off. So it can be super jarring to open this up. But that's why we do this. We do this. We like to be jarred doing this, opening this up. Drop our chin to chest and take our eyes to sky. Head to center. Let's look over to the right and look over to the left. And head back to center. Release that. Nice. Inhale and sweep it up. And exhale that out. Inhale and sweep it up. Let's open up our chest again. So let's go ahead and clasp those hands behind us or hold on to whatever you were holding on to. Opening that up. Let's look to the left and look to the right. Head back to center. Drop our chin to chest and take our eyes to sky. And head to center. We can release that, shake that out. Just let those arms relax on your legs. And let's drop our chin to chest again. And then take our right ear to our right shoulder, chin back to chest, and left ear to left shoulder. And then, oh, that feels good. Half circles here for that neck. Ooh. Woo-wee. Some days it feels really like tight. Today feels good. Yeah. A little bit more easier movement and recognizing maybe it feels good for you today, or maybe it feels odd for you today. Or again, maybe you're having a tough time tapping in to your feelings, and that is okay. Drop our chin to chest. lift our head to center. That's why you do this, just to get a little bit closer, a little bit more connection with your mind, your body. All right, so actually let's do a little spinal twisting. So let's take our sub breath up. Let's bring our right hand down. Let's take our left arm to our right thigh and let's twist it here. Oh, our first spinal twist. Oh, goodness. What would we do without spinal twists? Breathe it here. Inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. Good. One more time. Big deep inhale. And an exhale out. Sometimes, man, it gets to where I can't talk. Inhale and sweep that up. Exhale it out. Let's take it to the other side. Right arm goes over to that left leg. Left arm behind us. And let's breathe it here. Inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. And big deep inhale. And an exhale out. So good. Nice. Bring that back to center. Good. All right. If you are sitting on something, we get to go ahead and move that off to the side. Let's do some hip opening, some hip movement. Let's get our lower body. So let's go ahead and lean this back. Take our feet wide as the mat, or you can go wider if you feel like it. Or if you have to go narrower, then go narrower. But try and get it a little bit wide so you can get, oh my goodness. And just like I was showing you with our upper body being tight because we sit at the computer or sit at the car, or sit at the desk or sit. Same with the lower body, same with those hips, hip flexors, especially if we are sitting a lot, those hip flexors get shorter and shorter. And so movements like this get more difficult. Goodness. Wow. Let's go ahead and keep that right leg in front. We've got this nice zigzag. Sit ourselves up super tall. And let's go ahead and tall twist to the left. Yep, that's the left. Tall twist to the left. And then we've got our big twist. Oh yeah, big twist over to the right. And feel free to use those hands as leverage on the floor if you want to walk them further behind you while you try and keep your hips planted so you can get that really good torso twist right here. So twisting deeply into this. Let's add that breath. Inhale it deeply. Oh, and exhale it out. Yeah. Let's bring this back to center. And we're going to twist quick for 4. We're going to take this for 4 and center. It's 3 and center. It's 2, and this mobility work is so good, and center. And last 1 and center. This is super valuable, super valuable. All right, let's take our right hand behind us, and we are going to lift this up, lifting our left hand, stretching up through our quadricep and our hip flexor, actually, and then the inner thigh on that right leg. So we're lifting this up. We take this down and hinge this forward. So a nice hinge right here. Let's add that breath. Inhale and lifting up. And exhale, hinge this forward. Inhale and lift up. And exhale, hinge forward. Inhale and lift up. And exhale, hinge. Inhale and lift up. And exhale and hinge. Good. Bring this to center. Now, move yourself so that we are in a 90-90. So you're just in that zigzag. You've just moved yourself kind of forward so that you can hinge your weight over. And we're going to take so we've got our right hand right in front or beside our knee. And we've got our left leg behind us. It can be straight or it can be bent, however it feels best for you. You know how we do the thread the needle? Well, we're going to thread the needle right here. So this is going to be a super giant back stretch, but also for that hip stretch. So we've got our hand down and we're going to thread the needle through and then lift our arm up. So thread the needle through and then lift this up. Thread the needle through, inhale, and then exhale. Inhale, and exhale. And inhale. Oh man, and exhale. So good, release that. Oh. Very nice. All right, let's take our feet wide again and let's drop our knees from side to side. And we're going to do everything on the other side. Yeah, this mobility work, so amazing, so beneficial, so essential for your joints, for your muscles, to lengthen, to strengthen, for your nervous system. Yep, for sure, for sure. All right, let's keep that left leg forward. Sit ourselves up tall in this nice zigzag and a tall twist to the right first. Tall twist. Very nice. And oh man, this side. This side is tighter. Big twist over and use those hands as leverage. And breathe. Inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. And big deep inhale. And exhale it out. And bring this to center and let's twist quick for 4. Take this for 4 and center. It's 3 and center. It's 2 and center. And last 1 and center. Very nice. All right. Let's take our left hand behind us and lift ourselves up right here. Oh, that feels good on this side. Felt good on the other side too. Drop this down. We're going to add in that breath with the movement. So let's inhale, lift this up. And exhale, release this down and hinge this forward. Oh yeah. And then inhale, lifting up. And exhale, hinge this down. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, hinge this down. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, hinge this down. I think we're going to do one more. It might be an extra, but that's okay. Inhale and lift this up. And exhale, hinge this forward. So good. Very nice. All right, let's change this again. Bring it to that 90-90. It's the same thing. We just moved ourselves a little bit. Left hand right by our side. And let's go ahead and thread the needle through and open that up. Wow. Good. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Very nice. Good job. All right, let's lean this back again. And let's take our legs out in front of us. And we're going to go ahead, keep our knees bent, take our feet flat onto the floor, take our arms by our sides. Let's take ourselves into a reverse tabletop. Press into the heels of our hands, press into the heels of our feet. Let's lift our pelvis up. Oh, that feels good for those biceps, triceps, shoulders, strengthening for that core. Very nice. A nice neutral neck, either looking up towards the ceiling or out in front of you. Good. Squeezing those glutes. Be really easy just to let everything hang. Try and keep that lifted. That's the hard part. That's the really hard part, is to keep that lifted. Keep those glutes squeezed. Keep that belly nice and tight. Let's drop that pelvis down. Simple cross leg and hinge this forward. Good. Let's lean this back and we'll go into boat. So heels pressed on the floor, lengthen through our arms. Just a nice simple boat right here. Breathe it. Inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. And again, big deep inhale. And exhale it out. Bring our arms by our sides. Bring ourselves back up into reverse table. Now you can stay here in reverse tabletop, or if you want to go reverse plank, then go for it. But remember, if you're gonna go into that reverse plank, don't allow your glutes to sink. We want everything to be tall and strong here. So you're either in that reverse table or in this reverse plank. And breathing here, inhale it deeply and exhale it out. And big deep inhale and exhale it out. Drop that pelvis down. Simple cross leg. Hinge this forward. And we're gonna go boat one more time. Well, actually 2 more times because we're gonna go single leg in our boat. So let's lean this back into that boat pose. We've got our arms reaching out. So we're engaging our core. This is priming our core. Actually, it's working our core. So lengthening through that, let's lift one leg up and breathe it here. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. Good, big deep inhale and exhale it out. Release that leg down. I'm super glad that these pants have a pattern on them because these attract hair like nothing else. It's crazy. Yeah. All right, so other leg, lift that leg up, lengthen right here and breathe. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. And big deep inhale and exhale it out. Good, and release that down. Very nice, simple cross leg. Oh, and hinge that forward. Woo-wee. Very nice, very good. Let's bring ourselves forward and we're going to, come up onto all fours. So our shoulders are over our wrists, our hips are over our knees. Let's drop our belly to the floor, take our eyes to the sky, inhale. And round our spine, chin to chest, exhale. Drop that belly, inhale. And round that spine, exhale. Drop that belly, inhale. And rounding our spine, exhale. And drop that belly, inhale. And round that spine, exhale. All right, let's go into our first balance pose. We're gonna do a few more balance poses after this today. We've got some balance going on today, guys. So let's lengthen up through that right leg. We're lengthening through this. This may be where you can go today. Otherwise, you're gonna take it into that bird dog. We've got our leg lifted, we've got our arm lifted, holding your first full balance pose. Let's bring our elbow to our knee 6 times. Let's go and bring this in for 6 and extend. Here's 5 and extend. Here's 4 and extend. Here's 3 and extend. It's 2 and extend. We're gonna hold our next extension. Hold this here. Let's go a little scorpion. So we're gonna bend that knee, bottom of the foot facing the ceiling, just holding this here. Well, this is kind of a half scorpion, and breathe. That's a little challenging. Release that arm, release that leg. Child's pose. Take this back. Let's go back to heels. Oh, the best part of that is that front stretch in the front of the ankles. Oh my goodness, at least for me today. Woo-wee. And bring ourselves back up. Cat and cow. Drop that belly, inhale. Round that spine, exhale. Drop that belly, inhale. Around that spine, exhale. Good. Bring that back to neutral. Let's lift. Oh, I kind of just want to stretch that there. Lift that left leg up and hold that. And again, this may be where you're going today. Otherwise, you are bringing your right arm up into that full bird dog. Hold this here. Elbow to knee 6 times. Let's go ahead and bring this in for 6 and extend. Here's 5 and extend. Here's 4 and extend. Here's 3 and extend. It's 2 and extend. And last one. Hold this extension. Let's get that little mini scorpion right here. So bending through that knee, bottom of the foot facing the ceiling. This is challenging. Breathe it deep. Good. Release the arm. Release the leg. Very nice. Take ourselves back into a nice child's pose. This time in your child's pose, bring your big toes together and take your knees apart so you can go into like a little bit of a wider, oh yeah. That's for the hips, hip joints, hip flexors. Goodness, right there. Yep. And let's bring this up. We are on our knees. another balance pose. So we're gonna go into our half moon, our modified half moon, modified because we are down here on the floor. Let's take our left leg off to the side, bring our right arm down to the floor. Now, this is our side plank. You may want to stay here in side plank. If you want to go into that modified half moon, then your challenge is to be lifting your leg up and hold. This isometric hold right here and balance. Breathe it here. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. If you want to go further, you can go for sugar cane. I don't know why it's called that, but it is. And you just want to grab that foot or that ankle or that shin, and you're keeping that leg lifted. It's like sugar cane is just like a green stalk, isn't it? Okay. Yeah. Don't know. Not sure. But this. Go right into this if you want. Or your leg is out and your arm is lifted. Very nice. And let's drop this leg down and reach this over. Sometimes, like way back in India, whenever they were doing all of these poses and putting names to them, they were probably just looking at a field and we're like, let's call this one sugar cane, because that's what we see right in front of us. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. And breathe. Good. And release that. Very nice. Take it to the other side. Let's go ahead and take our right leg. Oh yeah, right leg off to the side. And let's go ahead and take our left arm down. And we're going to go ahead and find ourselves. You're either in this side plank, which is really good, still balancing, still strengthening, or you are working on your modified half moon and breathing, or you're going to go into that sugar cane. Bring this up. I'm going to look and see if there are other names for this one, because there's like 1,000 names for every pose that we do. I think it just depends on who decided to write that book that day, or do that, teach that practice that day, or whatever. Just lengthening and breathing and reaching. You've got this. Good. Let's release this down and reach this over. Ooh, there's a little pop in the spine. Yeah, that is good. Nice. And then release that. Very good. Go ahead and place your blocks where you want them, at the front edge of your mat, for when we get to our sun salutations, because that's where we're going next. We're going to go into our downward facing dog, first down dog. Let's curl our toes under, keep our knees bent, and let's lift our tails to the ceiling. Oh, and so we stretch through our spine. Nice lengthening stretch through that spine. Maybe your hands slip out from under you like mine just did. I need to wipe down my mat. Oh, yeah. And I've said this before too, if you're finding that your mat is slippery, or you can always, mats usually can be washed in the washing machine. You can do that. It works. Good. Lengthening through that spine, stretching through those arms, armpits. Very nice. All right. And then we can begin to straighten through our legs and begin to pedal our feet towards the floor. Stretching out through our heels, our Achilles tendons, our calves, our hamstrings, all up through that back body. Right there. So good. Dropping both of those heels to the floor. Let's lift up on our toes and then drop both of our heels over to one side. So we get a little side stretch here for calves, Achilles. Lift this back up center and drop this over to the other side. And lift this back up center. And let's walk our feet to meet our hands, standing forward fold at the front of our mat. And you don't need to touch your blocks just yet, but you want your feet pretty close. They can even be touching if that feels okay for you, if that is something that is available to you. But just let your arms dangle into this nice forward fold, this ragdoll. The upper body's heavy. It may be helpful for you to bend your knees. You might get even a further, oh yeah, further fold or further stretch right there. As soon as I bent those knees, that was good. Good hamstring stretch and low back stretch, because that upper body is pretty dangly, pretty heavy. Let's take that opposite elbow with the opposite hand, make a frame for the head, and that makes it even more dangly or heavy. Breathe. Fold it over even more. Oh, with that deep breath, you can feel that back rib cage, just that expansion, the opening of those muscles. Release those arms. Good, let that dangle. All right, that head's been low, so take this next one nice and slow. Let's inhale it up into a tall mountain. So let's take this up. You can go slow as you want here. Inhale and sweep this up so that you don't get too dizzy. Exhale, dive this down and over. Here's those blocks. Inhale, flat back. Look forward. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep this up. Stay here. As we exhale, we're going to clasp our hands behind us and open up our spine. We've got a little back arch here. Oh, wow. Nice. And then release that. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive this down and over. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep this up. Let's do this one more time with that shoulder chest opener. Take those arms behind you. Open this up, slight back arch here, and it helps to look towards the ceiling if you can without falling over, because sometimes you can lose your balance that way, and that's okay. Very normal, because our feet are close, so you don't have like, there's not a lot of stability here. Go ahead and release that. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive this down and over. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep it up. Take it around into a chair. Yeah, there we go. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive this down and over. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, release. Right foot's going to stay forward. Left foot's going to go back into lunge. Left hand on your block or on your floor or on your chair, whatever you are using for height here. Spinal twist into this tall lunge. Tall side lunge. Super good. There's a lot working here, a lot going on here, a lot stretching, working, a lot of strength that you have to be able to do this. Bring this to center. Take our foot back to meet the other foot into a top of plank. Shift our weight forward. Drop your fronts of the knees. Uncurl the toes. Heart goes down to the floor. It's a nice little crocodile. Heart lifts up off of the floor, baby cobra. Curl our toes under. Lift and press. Downward facing dog. And breathe. Remember your down dog and your child's pose. Those are your home bases. Those are where you get to catch your breath, where you get to bring yourself back to the present moment. So good. Walk our feet to meet our hands, standing forward fold, front edge of our mat. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep this up. Exhale it around to chair. Inhale and lifting up. Exhale, dive this down and over. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Our left foot stays forward. Our right foot goes back into lunge. Right hand on the block or the floor. Spinal twist this open to the left. Good. Nice, strong lunge here. And breathe. And bring this to center. Take that foot back to meet the other foot, top of plank. Shift the weight, drop to fronts of the knees, uncurl our toes. Heart goes down, heart lifts up. Curl our toes under, lift and press, downward facing dog, and breathe. Maybe you want to nod your head or shake your head. If you've got some neck tightness or any like congestion or anything, that can be helpful. Just the head movement right there. Let's walk our feet to meet our hands, standing forward fold, front of our mat. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Inhale, sweep this up. Exhale it around the chair. Inhale and lifting up. Exhale, dive this down and over. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Right foot stays forward, left foot goes back into lunge. Left hand on block on the floor. Spinal twist, open. Good, and maybe the second time around, we've got that neural pathway going now. We know where we're at, we know where we're going. And your body might be like, yeah, okay, I got this, I know this. Bring this to center. Take that foot back to meet the other foot. Top of plank. Shift the weight forward, drop to fronts of the knees, uncurl the toes, take the heart down, lift the heart up. Curl our toes under, lift and press, downward facing dog. Breathe it here. Let's add a little more challenge. Let's center our weight, lift our right leg up. Let's go ahead and bring that right leg through, back into that lunge. Grab those blocks. Let's lift ourselves up. Warrior three right there. So that supported warrior three. Back leg is lifted. Let's bring that foot forward. To meet that other foot, standing forward fold. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep this up. Exhale, around a chair. Inhale, and lifting up. Exhale, dive this down and over. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Our left foot stays forward. Our right foot goes back lunge. Right hand on the block, floor. Let's spinal twist this open. So good. And breathe it here. Good. Bring this to center. Take that foot back to meet the other foot. Top of plank. Shift our weight forward. Drop to fronts of the knees. Uncurl our toes. Heart goes down. Heart lifts up. Curl the toes under, lift and press. Downward facing dog, and breathe. Center our weight. Let's go ahead and lift our left leg up. And then let's bring that left leg through. Help that through, walk that through. And let's take this up into that warrior three. Modified or supported warrior three right there. Good, bring that foot forward. Nice, inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Inhale, sweep our arms up. Exhale, take it around into chair. Good, inhale and lift this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Let's take both feet back into a top of plank. Good. Shift our weight forward, drop to fronts of the knees, uncurl our toes. Heart goes down, heart lifts up. Curl our toes under, lift and press. Downward facing dog, and breathe. Center our weight. Let's lift our right leg up. Bend at that knee and drop that heel over towards our glute. We're going to take it into our pigeon. In just a moment here. Let's bring that bent knee back to center and let's go ahead and sweep this through. So bring this through. So we're in that nice pigeon. If you need support underneath your hip, you can do that. I took a class where they called this swan too, and I was like, swan or pigeon, whatever bird you identify with the best, I guess. So taking this down. Onto the elbows or all the way down onto the floor, or maybe you're just up on those hands. It's wherever it feels the most supportive, best for you, wherever your flexibility, mobility is letting you go. This is a giant hip opener, hip stretch. And breathing it, maybe sighing it. I'm doing a lot of sighing. That sighing is super helpful, super restorative. Super good for that nervous system. Good. And then let's press ourselves up. And we're going to curl that toe back under and press ourselves all the way back up into this downward facing dog. And breathe. Let's walk our feet to meet our hands. Standing forward fold. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Inhale, sweep this up. Let's take it around into that chair. Got to get those squats in. Inhale and lift this up. Exhale, dive this down and over. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Both feet back, top of plank. Shift our weight. Drop to fronts of the knees. Uncurl our toes. Heart goes down, heart lifts up. Curl our toes under, lift and press. Downward facing dog and breathe. Then we're going to do pigeon on the other side. But first we've got to take ourselves into our three-legged downward facing dog. So let's go ahead and lift that left leg up. Bend at our knee and drop our heel over towards our glute. Ooh-wee. Enjoying the inversion, the head being lower than the heart. Bring that knee back to center and let's sweep this through. Taking this into that pigeon, waterfowl. Well, a pigeon isn't a waterfowl, never mind. So just pigeon or swan. But whatever you did on the other side, that's where you want to be on this side. You want to be working equally on both sides of the body. So working on that mobility, flexibility, and strength in equal areas. You don't want one side stronger or more flexible than the other. Because we live in asymmetry and we're working towards symmetry, towards balance. Just breathing. Kind of sinking into this. Very nice. Let's go ahead and bring ourselves up, and we're going to bring ourselves all the way back up into that downward facing dog. So lifting this up all the way up into that down dog. So good. And breathe. And let's walk our feet to our hands, standing forward, fold at the front of our mat. Inhale and sweep our arms up. Exhale around into chair. Good. Bring our hands to heart. Let's take our foot back. So right foot goes back, heel is lifted up into a crescent. So we were reaching up into that crescent. Let's open into a proud warrior. So we'll just do a little bit of warrior right here. Ooh, warrior two. So good. Very nice. And breathe. From this warrior two, we're going to take it back into that crescent. So twisting that back, lifting that heel up, and you might be a little wobbly or you might even fall over. That's okay. We're lifting this up. I said we were doing a little bit of balance today. So we're lifting back up into this crescent. Bring those hands back to heart. Bring our leg forward, and we're going to find ourselves in our tree pose. Now your tree pose, let me turn this way a little bit. Your tree pose, maybe with your toe on the floor, heel on that calf or that shin, or you may be able to work up here, or you may be able to get your foot up even further, but you don't want your foot to hang out on your kneecap. And you don't want to do this either. You don't want to help your leg up, because helping your leg up, you want to be able to do that on your own. If you don't have the strength to lift that leg up and you're putting it there, work on the strength to get it up. So we're finding ourselves in our tree pose, and you maybe have your hands at your heart, or maybe you've got your arms lifted. And this one's a little challenging, so you may need to bring that toe down to the floor for a little more stability, because we're going to sway with the tree. We're going to go over to one side and bring this to center. Ooh, and then over to the other side. That's why I've got my toe on the floor today. I'm not in the full tree. And bring that to center. Good. Bring this back to center. And you can find maybe your tree a little bit more right here. We won't sway. That was good for that torso. And breathe. So good. And then let's bring this to center and bring ourselves to the short edge of our mat. Let's inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive this down and over. Forward fold. Let the backs of the legs, oh, just stretch. That's glorious right there. So good. Very nice. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale it around to chair. Hands to heart. Let's bring our left leg into crescent. Reach this up. So we've got a nice crescent here. Opening this up. This side, I'm wobbly on my crescent. And then let's open up into warrior two, proud warrior. We're going to hold here for a couple of breaths in this strong proud warrior. So good. Inner thigh right there. A good stretch. And bending through that front knee. Very good. And breathe. 2 is almost one of those palm poses too, although you're working pretty hard here. But it's almost one of those poses where it's like, okay, I could hang out here for a while. And then from here, let's turn this back into that crescent. So that heel lifts again. Ooh, that was easier on this side than the other side. Wow. Even though I was more unstable getting into it. Again, body awareness, recognizing what's going on. And then let's go ahead and bring ourselves forward, and we're going to find our tree on this side. So finding your tree, where you want to go. Ooh, this one's going to be challenging. I can feel it already. And we're going to add in that sway. So maybe you want to take your toe down for more support, because we're going to lift those arms, and let's go ahead and sway this over. Breathe deeply here. And sway over the other way. Oh yeah, breathe deeply here. Inhale. Oh my goodness. And exhale. And then bring it back to center. Ooh, that's core right there. And then just find your regular tree just for a moment. Another breath. Good balance today. Lots of good balance. And then we bring this to center. Good. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Both feet back into top of plank. Nice drop to our knees. Take ourselves back into a nice child's pose, but with this time with our arms by our sides and our palms facing up, so that we are a turtle. A turtle pose right here. And breathe. Oh. Sometimes I could just do all of relaxation in child's pose or in this nice little turtle pose. And you have the option to do that. If this feels the best for you, if you just want to put like a pillow underneath your forehead and be here in child's pose for the rest of the time, you have that option. You can always do whatever you want for final relaxation. Otherwise, if you want to do something different, we're going to go ahead and lay down on our backs. If you've got your eye pillow, go ahead and grab that. And good job. We're going to lengthen through our arms towards one end of the room. Reach through our feet towards the other end of the room. Place that eye pillow over your eyes if you are using one. Really, really reach and lengthen. Imagining that there are nice, friendly people. 2 people are holding your wrists and 2 other people are holding your ankles, and they're just gently pulling to release any tension in your joints, in your spine, adding a few inches to your height here. Maybe they're swinging you. That's kind of fun. Swinging. Inhale it deeply. And with an exhale, allow yourself to be gently put down on the floor. And letting those feet just fall open and relax. Letting those arms be open and relaxed. Heart is open towards the sky. Relax your jaw. Relax your face. Let your eyes fall back to the back of your skull, heavily falling back. Relax that forehead and that scalp. Relax the eyebrows. In relaxing that jaw, maybe your mouth is just naturally kind of falling open, and that's okay here. You just release that. Maybe move that jaw from side to side. Relax the chest, the belly, the arms. Relax those legs, those feet. Maybe you're doing a mental body scan, recognizing where there might be any tension, any soreness, any pain, any stress, any anxiety. Just recognizing that and kind of putting that off to the side for the next few moments. Breathe. And still relaxing, let's bend our knees. And maybe flatten that back to the floor if that is available to you. That can feel good. Ooh. And then take those bent knees and let's drop both of our bent knees over to our most comfortable side. Take ourselves onto our sides and just breathe it here. Let's slowly begin to bring ourselves up into a seated pose that feels strong and supportive for you. And just sitting ourselves up tall. Ooh, lengthening up through that. Let's inhale and sweep our arms up. Bring our hands to prayer. Exhale, eyes following our fingers. Take our chin to chest. Go ahead and lift that head to center. Take our fingers to forehead. As we leave today, let us think thoughts of truth. Take our fingers to our lips. As we leave today and speak with others, let us speak words of love. Take our hands to our hearts. As we leave today, let our lives be a light of truth and a light of love, having hearts of compassion and mercy, knowing that we have not been given a spirit of fear, but the spirit of love and a sound and peaceful mind. Big deep inhale. And exhale it out. And one more time, big deep inhale. And a big cleansing exhale. And have a blessed rest of your day. And we'll see you next.